Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Alton West. Today I have an exciting lineup of guests, so you want to make sure that you stay tuned for those interviews coming up in just a moment. Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Today my guest is on from LaGrange College. I have the Athletic Programs Coordinator, Jenna Jones. Jenna, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure to sit down with you, and we're talking about college football, basketball, and all the other sports that you all have to offer there up on the hill, as we like to refer to it. But before we jump into that, Jenna, tell us a little bit about your job there at the college, if you don't mind.
Sure. My official title is Athletics Program Coordinator, and I wear many hats at the college. Anything from setting up travel arrangements for the team to hotel accommodations, also working with game day events, and serving for our conference as a game day administrator / supervisor. And in that role, I just kind of make myself available to fans, to coaches, and even sometimes to the athletes when they may need something last minute. And then of course, crowd control, making sure everybody's acting right in the stands, and making sure just everyone has a great game day experience.
It sounds like you have a very fun-filled job there, sounds like.
It is,
well,
it is.
Great, great. And then I know that we're getting ready to, well, you all have started the 2013-14 sports year. I think you just had your first recent football game last week. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about, I know there's some changes that are coming about as far as the sports and things of that nature. Talk about that for us.
Sure. Actually, last year was our first year in the USA South Conference. We left the GSAC, which was the Great South Athletic Conference, and moved into the USA South last year. Very competitive conference, schools from the Carolinas to Virginia, so we're traveling 8 or 9 hours each time we take a trip, and so it's been very competitive. We've made some changes to our coaching staff as well, like with football. We've brought in a couple of new coaches. Matt Mummy is our new offensive coordinator. He was a University of Kentucky quarterback for his father, Hal, and we're expecting really big things out of him. So far, things look really good. We've also added Mr. Warren Wilson, and he is also a University of Kentucky graduate. He actually is coming to us from a high school in Lexington, and he is going to handle our defensive backs, special teams, and he's our recruiting coordinator. So he's wearing several hats in his role as well. We're real excited about it, though. New changes bring new things and new excitement for the school, and we're excited about that. We also just hired a new women's basketball coach. Okay. He was hired a few weeks ago, Lee Buchanan. He comes to us from a Division I school in Eastern Illinois University. So he's been a coach for 27 years, a head coach for 21 years. So we're really excited about his vision and his passion, and eager to see what he can do with, unfortunately, only the 7 returners I think that we have. Okay. So he's recruiting for us right now, and he seems to be up for the task, so we're real excited to have him. And then another addition, David Kelton was moved from assistant baseball coach up to head coach after Kevin Howard left. Real excited about David. He's been working with our program for a while now, and he's definitely got the passion. He's definitely got the experience as he played in the major leagues. So he's definitely got that experience, and we just hired him a new assistant coach, Stephen Brown. Okay. Very excited to have him as well, as he comes to us from a Division I school as well in Eastern Kentucky, I think it is. Okay. So we're real excited to have these new people with us, and we've hired several new GAs that will be their assistants, and just eager to see what they can do for us.
Goodness, there are a number of changes that you all have made there, sounds like. And,
several.
You know, and you know, we're talking about the sports there, and I did not realize this, that you all have a number of sporting events to offer the general public, and we'll get you to talk about that in just a moment. And also, I just wanted to mention Coach Richter with the golf team too, because I understand that the golf team for a number of years have been in like the top 5, 10 ranking throughout the nation here as far as LaGrange College.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I definitely want to try to get him on later to talk about that. But I do want to ask, talk about the number of sporting events that the general public can come out to view, and understand a lot of these events they can come at no charge, correct?
Sure, absolutely. That's one thing that a lot of people don't realize locally, that we do have 16 sports at LaGrange College, some particular to one gender and some men's and women's sports, but we do offer all of our sports free admission except for football and men's and women's basketball. Okay. And even those are, you know, they're not expensive to get into. I think the last I read, football general admission was $8.
Okay.
So it's not an expense to come in. It's really a great environment for kids and sports fans, and we'd love to have the community get involved in our sports teams and their seasons. Absolutely. And I think it would be very encouraging to have some of the community there.
Absolutely. Now, if they wanted to, if the general public listening wanted to get more information about maybe this upcoming football schedule, which I know it may be out in the community,
right,
where can they go and find that though, Jenna?
Well, you can visit our main website. It's lagrange.edu. There's an athletics link, and you can follow that to our sports page. But we also have just a sports web page in general. It's lagrangepanthers.com. You can go on there, you'll find out when we play, what times, and sometimes they'll even add in any game day events that I may have put together, whether it's a halftime shootout or a field goal contest or something like that. And the community is welcome to get involved in that. It's not just students. It's normally we'll announce something and say, anyone who's interested, come out and try your hand at this. So it's really fun for people of all ages.
Okay. Well, very good. So we're looking forward to that in the football season this year, getting started, getting off and running. And then, of course, you know, you have basketball that'll be starting a little bit later on, and that's great sports there. We do see the coverage there in the newspaper and things of that nature. Right. So just excited about all the things. And I know that you mentioned some of the teams. There's a couple other sporting events that you mentioned for like soccer, cross country, volleyball, all of those things, various things there. So all that information can be found on the website as well, correct?
Yes, sir. All of it.
All right. Well, very good. Now, as we get ready to close out here, we're talking about the various sporting event. Now, I know that the NFL have various rules about bringing things in. Can you talk a little bit about things that are permissible to the sporting events as far as the college is concerned?
As far
like bags, things that they can bring in, you know, clear bags, things like that.
Right. Actually, you know, they're pretty lenient about that. You're welcome to bring anything in as far as a bag or maybe even a snack of some sort. Okay. I do know that we have seen rule changes as far as our conference. Like for soccer, you're no longer allowed to bring dogs in. In the past, we've allowed dogs, not necessarily in the stands, but just in the general area. Okay. And they've kind of strayed us away from that a little bit. Just, you know, they just like to cover their bases in this conference. Okay. Just trying to make sure everybody's got everything that they're supposed to, and trying to prevent any negative, you know, things from happening. Right. So just little things like that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you're able to bring in anything you like. They may check your bag just to make sure, you know, just like they do at the larger schools. But other than that, you're pretty open to what you can bring in. Okay. Obviously, no alcohol or drinks. Okay. But absolutely.
All right. Well, Jen, I want to thank you very much for coming on and sharing the information. Again, we're looking very forward to the football season and the other, you know, sporting events getting off and being very successful there for LaGrange College and all the new coaches. We want to just say, you know, congratulations to them and those new appointments and the assistant coaches as well. And thank you for coming on and sharing the information.
Great. Thank you so much for having me. And we hope to see some of you guys at the games.
Now we're going to say go Panthers,
right? Go Panthers.
All right. Thank you, Jenna, very much.
Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We're back for more City Week in just a moment. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Now I have on a guest from the West Point Lake. I have on Park Ranger Rocky Millivine, who needs no introduction because he hosts his own very show. Rocky, welcome to the show, man.
Alton, thank you for having me again, and I'm so glad anytime I get to be here in studios. Absolutely. And on a different show is even better.
It's a pleasure to sit down. I'm always a little nervous when I sit down with another host, though. You know, I got to mention that, Rocky, because I'm like, okay, he's going to be interviewing me or I'm going to interview him, you know.
Hey, I got the easy job today.
Okay, well, all right. Well, look, we're here to talk about something that happens on an annual basis, and I know that you're the gentlemen have the finger on the pulse, and we want to get the community out and involved as they do every year, and that is the West Point Lake Cleanup. Talk a little bit about that for us, Rocky.
Yeah, Alton, we've got the West Point Lake Cleanup coming up on September 28th this year. And we picked that date because that also coincides with National Public Lands Day, which is a big event for us being a federal agency.
Okay, well, very National Public Lands Day.
That's correct, yeah.
All right.
And you know, West Point Lake, it's such a huge resource for this community, not just for the locals like us that use the lake, but also because it brings people in from the outside. And all that money that they bring in, it's just a huge boost to our local economy. And you know what? We want West Point Lake to look the best it can for these people when they do come in. You know, really, West Point Lake, this year we've been lucky with Bassmasters. The entire world has had its eye on West Point Lake, and we want to make sure that it is as beautiful and pristine as it can possibly be.
Absolutely. So that's September 28th, and I got to ask a question. I know this is a resounding yes. Are volunteers needed?
Oh, absolutely, they're needed. You know, we've been blessed with the amount of water that we've had this year coming into West Point Lake. It's kept the lake full, even over full a little bit. But with that water that comes into the system, it brings in trash, garbage from all the creeks and everything that gets overflowed during these high rain periods. Everywhere between here and Atlanta, all that, if it floats, it ends up in West Point Lake.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's September 28th, you need volunteers to come out. Can they contact you, or who do they need to contact?
Yeah, you know, we've been very fortunate. Wendy's on Lafayette Parkway has been sponsoring the West Point Lake Cleanup for several years now, and we want to get a good idea of how many people are going to be there for them, and also Coca-Cola, our other major sponsor, so they can know how much food and beverage to bring. So they can get a hold of me. My phone number is 706-645-6113.
Okay.
They can get a hold of me and just let me know, so that way we can get those numbers to the food and beverage. But also, you know, trash is spread out all along the lake. So once I get these people to come in for their group to volunteer, I can kind of divvy out areas for them to go. So maybe necessarily they won't have to go all the way to the south end of the lake and then drive to the north end of the lake to their trash site. You know, so I can kind of coordinate an area that's close to them, so I can make it just as easy as I possibly can for them to volunteer.
Well, very good. And you know, you was talking about, because it's so important, you know, for us, you know, the West Point Lake cleanup and everybody to get involved, because it is a beautiful lake. And as you stated, you know, I drove across it a couple of days ago, and it's just full from shore to shore.
Oh yeah.
It's a beautiful lake, and it's, you know, recreational, fishing, all of those various things. So it's up to all of us to try to help to do our part. So again, if someone's interested, by all means, volunteer.
Absolutely.
And then where would the I guess the meals will be distributed to those various locations, or how would that be
Well,
done?
actually, kind of our central location is going to be Pine Road Park.
Okay.
So, like I said, please go ahead and RSVP for me, because I really need that information. But if someone does come up last minute, they've got time to volunteer, they could head on to Pine Road Park. So we're going to have a lot of volunteers going out of there. And also, that's where Wendy's and Coca-Cola is going to be setting up for lunch. We're planning on starting at 8:30 in the morning and having lunch at 12:30. So, you know, we're just expecting a good morning. A few hours of work by a few hundred volunteers can get a lot of work done. And that's what we need. We need just people to roll up their sleeves, get out to the lake, and just help beautify it.
Absolutely. And one of the other things I wanted to mention as we get ready to finish up here, Rocky, recycling. I know that's a thing that a lot of people get involved with. Would there be opportunities for people that, you know, the cans and bottles and stuff?
Yes, you know, we've been recycling the last 3 or 4 years with the West Point Lake cleanup, and it's worked very well. We find there's a lot of plastic bottles and such as that floating around. So LaGrange Sanitation has been kind enough to help us with that. They send several the big 40 cubic yard dumpsters, and you know, every year we fill one mounding up with just recyclable plastic. alone. So we are going to do that. We're going to keep our trash and our recyclables separate, but
Okay.
you know, we're doing our part to stay as green as we can in this event.
Absolutely. Well, very good. Well, I'm sure as the community has and will continue to do, we'll come out in numbers and we'll all get together and clean up, make sure that our lake is the very best that it can be. And want to thank you very much, Rocky, for spearheading this, and the sponsors, Wendy's and Coca-Cola, for providing those things. And again, give them your numbers one more time if they don't
Yeah,
mind.
my phone number, they can call me at 706
Okay.
645 6113.
Okay. Well, Rocky, thank you very much. We look forward to him coming out on September 28th. All right?
Thank you for having me on.
All right, no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We're back for more City Week in just a moment. Welcome back to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Now I have two ladies on, and we'll talk about an event that's coming up in our community that's very near and dear to a lot of us in our society. I have on Jessica Frazier, the chairman of this event, and also the marketing coordinator, Laura Bourne. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Well, we're here to talk about a benefit concert that's going to be taking place that is kind of in conjunction with the Junior Service League. Kind of tell us the little dynamics that are going on there for us, Jessica.
Okay. Well, this year, Junior Service League has chosen the West Georgia Health Community Cancer Center as our main beneficiary, and what we want to do something different. So we decided to put together a benefit concert, and it's called Pickin' in the Park because it's going to be at Pine Road Park. And this concert is going to be featuring actually a pretty big name band for this area. Marshall Tucker Band will be coming in. And we're really excited about that. And then they'll also have opening up for them Wet Willie, and then we have a really great local band, Paris Luna, coming in.
Okay.
And all the money that we raise for this concert will be going to the West Georgia Health Community Cancer Center, which is just a great cause, and there's a great need for it here in Troup County.
Absolutely. You know, so many times I've had one to allow, I'm sure both of you all may know or know of her, Cancer Care Navigator here. She's been on the show. And
She's great.
She's great, yeah, absolutely. And just fantastic, phenomenal lady. And so compassionate, because not only has she undergone that herself, but she understands what a patient goes through and when they're suffering with the sickness and disease of cancer as well.
Absolutely. And you know, I mean, I think that there's hardly anybody that can't say that they have someone in their lives that's not been touched by cancer.
Absolutely.
So it's just something that affects pretty much everyone in our community, and it's something that we really need here, and we're very excited that the Junior Service League can support the West Georgia Health Community Cancer Center.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Laura, I know that you're the marketing coordinator. Talk a little bit about the ticket sales and where people can get tickets and things of that nature for.
Well, right now people can purchase tickets online at pickininthepark.org. There are several places downtown LaGrange that they can pick up tickets: LaGrange Car Wash, Plum Southern, Stevens Exclusives. We will also be selling tickets at the gate. Their advance tickets are $25, and at the gate they're $30. So you want to go ahead and pick up your tickets right now while you can.
Okay.
We're doing it through PayPal on the internet, and that's probably the best way to get tickets in advance.
Okay, well, very good. And again, you mentioned the Marshall Tucker Band.
Yes.
And Jessica, I know there's a song that they have out. You got to give us a few bars of their song. I won't put you on the spot like that. But
No, but they do have Can't You See, and then
Heard It in a Love
Heard
Song.
It in Love Songs.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And then Wet Willie Band had a big hit with Keep On Smiling. And like I said, Paris Luna is just a phenomenal local band that everyone should check out too.
And you can check out all these bands on their websites. Paris Luna, they have a little musical treat on their website, and they're great.
Okay, well, very good. Now, I noticed that you ladies have on very nice Picking in the Park T-shirts as well. Now, will there be T-shirts for sale?
There will not. These are our chair T-shirts, but we are putting together some T-shirts that will be ready at the concert to sell. And one other nice little thing that we're going to do is that we have decided, in addition to just raising money, we want to really honor and recognize what we're doing. So when you get there, you can, we're going to have a balloon release at the concert. We're going to have a moment of silence and a balloon release. So what you can do is you can, for $5, get a balloon, and you'll get a ribbon, and you can write anybody's name on it that you want to honor. And then right before Marshall Tucker Band goes on, we're going to all gather right in front of the lake, because it's at Pine Road Park, right in front of the lake, and we'll have a moment of silence, and then we'll release the balloons in honor of anyone that you know personally that's been affected by cancer.
Oh.
So that's just another really nice thing that we'd like to do for our community and to honor those.
Absolutely. Again, for a very, very good cause. And I know that we mentioned the date, but let's make sure we mention that date again so the
Yeah.
public knows about it. Lauren, if you don't mind, mention that date
It's
again.
September 21st. The gates open at 5 p.m. Music starts at 7. Blankets and lawn chairs are welcome. We ask that you don't bring in outside food or drink. We will have food and beverage vendors on site.
Okay, well, very good. And I know that there's an opportunity that some lucky fans might get an opportunity to go back behind stage to meet the band. Talk about that.
A small few. We have very limited VIP passes to meet the band. These tickets will be on sale for $75 a piece. It's first come, first serve. They will be available on the website probably as early as tomorrow. And like I said, first come, first serve. You can meet and greet with the band and get an autograph.
Okay, very good.
And I did want to mention, the Troup County has been so supportive of this so far. I mean, we have already raised enough money to cover all of our expenses, so any money that we get coming in from ticket sales and on-site sales will go directly to the Cancer Center. Our two headlining sponsors, Bats & Cook Construction and Secure Select, have been extremely generous, and we have just a long list of great sponsors too. That we're just really thrilled with how the community has responded to this event, and we hope that the public comes and everybody comes and checks it out.
Absolutely. And I know that you all have a goal that you hope to raise. Talk about that for us, Justin, if you don't mind.
Well, we would really like to be able to give the Community Cancer Center $50,000. That's our goal. Okay. So we need a lot of help and a lot of support from the community to get there. I have every confidence that we're going to get there. We're already moving very closely to that goal, but we just would love for you to come and support the event so we can definitely donate that to the Cancer Center.
Absolutely. Now, of course, Lauren, you just talked about the ticket sales, the advanced ticket, and at the gate sales as well. And food vendors will be there on site. Mm-hmm. You mentioned about lawn chairs are welcome, but no food items to be brought in.
No, we will have food vendors selling, and then we'll also have beverage. We'll have soft drinks, water, and beer and wine. Okay,
very good. Give them the website information once again, Lauren, if you don't mind, where they can get tickets.
It's pickininthepark.org. That's PICKININTHEPARK.org.
Okay, very good. So you definitely want to go ahead and get those tickets. September 21st, Marsha Tucker Band, Wet Willie Band, and Paris Luna. You know, sounds like a great lineup. And for those few ones that can get an advanced ticket, to get an opportunity to go behind the stage to meet the band. All right, any closing comments, ladies and gentlemen? Again, it's a benefit concert for the Community Cancer Center. Any closing comments?
We just really hope to see you there. You'll be there, right, Alton?
I will definitely get a ticket. You twist my arm there. I will definitely get a ticket, all right? Well, ladies, I want to thank both of you all for coming on, and definitely want the community to come out and support this very worthwhile cause, and make sure that we can raise that $50,000 goal.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much for being on the show today. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We're back for more City Week in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining for City Week this week. My guests have been from LaGrange College. I had on the athletics program coordinator, Jenna Jones, as she talked about the upcoming football season and all the other sporting events that they have to offer there up on the hill. So we're inviting the public to come out and support them in your own various ways. Also, we had on Park Ranger, Rocky Millenvine, as he talked about the West Point Lake cleanup that will be taking place on September the 28th. Volunteers are needed, so make sure that you RSVP as he asked, because they will be providing a little light lunch and refreshments. Then we had on, lastly but not least, ladies and gentlemen, ladies from the Junior Service League, as they talked about a benefit concert that's going to be taking place to benefit the Community Cancer Center that will be featured on September the 21st. Sponsoring or featuring the Marshall Tucker Band as a main attraction with some other local bands. So ladies and gentlemen, very worthwhile cause here in our community. So let's make sure that we come out and help them reach their $50,000 goal. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed this lineup this week. And as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week.